Hi everyone, this is Donnie Lowy from Closeout I hope you're doing well today. I'd like to discuss with you the advantages of buying wholesale brand new clothing versus wholesale used clothing. I get many requests from customers, especially in Africa, and some customers from Haiti as well, who are looking for used clothing. The reason they're looking for used clothing, of course, is because they could buy it at a very low price and then resell it to their customers who might not be able to afford new clothing. Now, they look for used clothing at thrift stores. They'll go to the parent company of a thrift store chain, such as Goodwill, such as the Salvation Army, and they'll buy also used clothing in bulk. There are also dealers that specialize in bulk used clothing. They'll buy containers, they'll buy pallets, they'll buy bins of the used clothing, and then they'll have it shipped to their respective country. Now, the reason why I recommend that you should focus on brand new clothing is because the price of brand new clothing has gone down so drastically that sometimes you can find used clothing that might even be as more expensive than new clothing, and vice versa. You can find new clothing that's priced at such a low wholesale price that it is so close to the price that you would anyways pay for used clothing. For example, in my warehouse, I have brand new sundresses. They're not brand name dresses, but they are, pretty decent sundresses, which I could sell for a wholesale price of as low as $2 each. Now, that's a brand new piece of clothing. If you buy a brand new clothing for $2 or $3 and you compare that to a used clothing that might cost you anywhere from $1 to $2 each, or even if it's 50 cents each, so you're offering them an exponential benefit by giving them new clothing, even if they have to pay a drop more. There's so much clothing out there which is new, which you could come to my warehouse and you could buy for as low as $1 or $2 a piece, where I think it makes more sense to buy new. Now, the one advantage of buying used clothing is that you can get brand names in that used clothing for a very low price. But I think that even though you can buy the clothing for such a low price, but you're going to get so much clothing along with that brand name clothing that's not brand name, which is going to make it very hard for you to make your money on it. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you buy a pallet of used clothing, and there are 500 pieces of clothing, and you've paid 50 cents a piece per piece. Now, let's say only 10% of that clothing is salvageable, meaning you could only sell 10% of that clothing because 10% of the clothing is brand name, 10% of the clothing is in good condition, 10% of the clothing is fashionable, however it might be. But you have 500 pieces of clothing, which cost you $250. But you can only now sell 10% of the clothing. That's 50 pieces of clothing. Now you have to take $250 and divide it by 50. That means your actual cost for the clothing that you're going to be able to sell is $5 each. If you had gone to a closeout warehouse such as myself, you could have bought brand new clothing for as low as $2, $3 a piece, which is less than that $5 per piece that you're actually paying for the used clothing, which you can resell. And then when you come to a closeout warehouse, such as my warehouse or someone else's warehouse, and you look for brand name, brand new clothing, you might be able to get brand name, brand new clothing for as low as $5 or $8 or $10 a piece. So as you can see, you're paying a few dollars more for the clothing. You're getting brand new and brand name clothing. All right, so that's my take on it. I mean, I'm sure everyone has their own opinion, and there's definitely, there's a way to make money in every category. And, that's just my reason why I specialize in brand new clothing and why I recommend that people deal with brand new clothing. Hope you enjoyed this video. You're welcome to visit my warehouse the next time you are in New York. My website is closeoutexplosion.com. Have a great day.